video go out recently.
Super unleaded in this.
No.
Bruce, you've become a TikTok star, that's one thing for sure.
It's a factory failure.
If somebody does want to challenge it, come on in a technical way.
With this Aventador SV, they only take E10 95 octane. That's because they're tuned like that, with 95 octane. When you do put super unleaded in the car, you will experience some.
Hi guys, okay, so we have had a TikTok video go out recently with our supercar technician Bruce, and it's caused a lot of controversy, hasn't it, George?
It has. I think, Bruce, you've become a TikTok star. That's one thing for sure. But you've definitely
ruffled a few feathers, right? So I think, look, here's the thing. Bruce, I don't know anybody else in this industry that's worked on such a variety of cars, be it Bugattis, be it Lamborghinis, McLarens, whatever. In this supercar industry, you've had your hands on so many different types of cars, which is rare, right? Because normally people are, a specialist in Ferrari or a specialist in McLaren, but by virtue of you working in GVE, where we have to sell everything, you've got to work on all these different types of cars, right? So now you've come out with this video, which was your opinion about what fuel to use in an Aventador. And so many people are like just jumping up and down saying this is rubbish. How can you say that you can only put how can you say that you can only put unleaded into a Aventador and not super unleaded? So I thought it'd be best to get you in front of the camera and you can have your say on it.
Right. This is mainly me helping people out, right? So from my experience, what happens is that when you use E10, the exhaust fumes are running much cooler. So when you do use super unleaded for a long period of time, it burns your lambda sensors and your cats.
Okay.
And how much are cats?
Okay.
Yeah, about near enough $7,000 each minimum.
No, we've seen that.
Yeah,
Do you know what the thing is? I think the TikTok audience need for you to simplify it down. So we're always surrounded by supercars. We know what cats are. We know what lambda sensors are. Right. They always go. We see it week in, week out. We have so many Aventadors in stock and they all have the same problem. So I think, how do cats and lambda sensors actually relate to petrol? What are they?
So cats are converters. It converts carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide. And when you do use V-power, what happens is that unburnt fuel sits around the exhaust and it causes a little bit of carbon built up. And then when you do rev the car or get it up to speed, carbon sits around and burns and it gets the exhaust hot. Yes, it burns the catalytic converters and your lambda sensors. Hence why I said use E10 because it runs cooler and 10% more ethanol, which is alcohol, that will burn the carbon out. So it's safer to run on E10.
So you explained to me before, right? So when you like go down London and you see these guys revving the crap out of their Aventador.
Yeah.
They're running super unleaded.
Super unleaded, that's right, yeah.
And because not all the fuel gets burnt, there's leftover fuel.
Right.
And that is the stuff that burns when you're revving.
That's why you get sparks coming out the exhaust
flames.
as well. Yeah,
you get flames coming out.
Sparks and flames, yeah.
Now, let's say you don't rev the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And there is residue left
of
this super unleaded fuel, right? What happens to that fuel when it's left over?
When it's left over, it stays in the exhaust system. And when you rev the car, it just burns it extra. So if you have extra fuel in the system, in the exhaust system, manifold and everything, you have fire coming out the exhaust and the exhaust gets really hot. And whatever sensors that's touching the exhaust, on the exhaust, will get burnt.
Okay.
They only resistors inside and they get literally cooked. And
so are you saying that people shouldn't use super unleaded at all in their Aventador? Or are you saying...
I would say now and then use V-power, it's fine. But if you use V-power constantly, you cause damage to your exhaust system. That's my advice, yeah.
Fine, so use more unleaded. If there's a ratio, the ratio should be more unleaded than super unleaded.
That's right, yeah.
Cool. All right.
I always just thought you were on commission for selling E5 fuel. I thought...
Sorry, I'm just being honest here. I'm just trying to help people out there.
Okay, so look, I've got a a Lamborghini Urus, right? And so I always use super unleaded. So am I doing the right thing in that car by using super unleaded?
Right, your car, Urus, is mostly Audi, right?
Yeah.
That's different. That's a different story. Aventadors have an Italian engine. And it's only with Aventadors that I have problems with.
Okay.
And
so how many, let's say in the last 5 years or 6 years, let's say, how many times have you seen an Aventador with lambda sensor problems and cat problems?
Right, I'm talking about monthly basis.
Yeah.
So monthly I get about 3 to 4. Yeah, 3 to 4 Lamborghinis with lambda sensor issues, you know?
So we've got like comments on our TikTok where people are saying, hey, you know, this is rubbish because my Lamborghini dealer says this is not right.
Talking about dealers, right? Yeah. We get a lot of stuff by customers says dealer said this and that. Why do they have recalls? Why do they call you back in to get a recall done on their car? Like, why are the shocks leak? It's a factory failure. They haven't put heat resistant shields on the suspension, which causes all the exhaust heat goes up and then it burns the seals inside.
Oh, I see.
So it's a factory failure.
So the exhaust gets too hot and then that transmits to the shocks
on the top. Yeah, right.
And then that leads to failure on the shocks.
Yeah, it burns the seals inside.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. See, look, I think like you were saying, George, right, that the TikTok audience might not know this fully, but I think I'll take it one step further and say, actually, Aventador owners might not know this fully, right? Because I used to be an Aventador SV owner, and I'm not technical whatsoever. So if suddenly I've got a problem and my engine management light comes on, you know, I'm going to take that car down to Lambo and take their word as gospel, right? I'm going to say, oh, £5,000 bill. All right, fine. Here you go. And I'm not going to question it further, like, why did this occur? Whereas what you're trying to do is tell people the why that something like that might be occurring to stop them from having to pay that £5,000 bill or £6,000 or £7,000.
Exactly. I'm just trying to save their money, you know?
Right.
And yeah.
What's so insane about that is you mentioned Lambo would give you this £5,000 bill. You actually saved, I remember that, sold an orange SV and the customer was saying, I think it needs new sensors or it needs new temperature probes or something. You saved that guy from having to replace all the sensors by just filling up a full tank of normal fuel.
That's right.
I remember that. And then the customer, that's insane.
No
so you
way,
saved that guy
so he had
a load of money.
On his dashboard saying catalytic converter overheating on his actual dashboard. Catalytic converter overheating. So I said to him, put E10 in there and drive it for about 20 minutes and the light went off. So
but do you know what I'd like to see, right? Because what we had a lot of in the comments was people saying this is bullshit, no, he doesn't know what he's talking about, and this, that and the other. So, you know, obviously that annoyed you slightly, but I've told you to stop reading the comments, right? But I think what would be good is, because you've come from it, you've come at this topic in a technical way, right? So what would be great is if somebody does want to challenge it, just come at it in a technical way rather than saying this is bullshit, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, and if you know, if they can, then by all means, you're going to put your hands up and say, okay, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you've seen a problem reoccurring time after time in these Lambos.
That's right.
And you're trying to work out you're trying to diagnose the problem. You're trying to think, well, what can we tell our customers next time to prevent them from having the same problem?
That's what it was,
rather than just saying, do you know what? Lambda sensors are problems with the Aventadors. Don't worry, we can charge you all day long.
Yeah.
Right? Which is what main dealers probably do, right?
Of course, yeah. It's like that Porsche video I put up and regarding the spoiler coming up and down. Yeah. You go there, £400 just there to start with.
Yeah.
And
just for them to diagnose it.
Diagnose it, yeah. It's just a touch of a finger and then resets, you know. And it's a lot of stuff that I'll be teaching you guys as well.
Yeah, it's good.
And
Bruce, keep it up, man.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, what I set you a mission to put a whole load of value-added content out there on TikTok so we can help people out. And then by helping them out, we're showing that we are experts in the game. And you are an expert. So well done and keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.